at a depth of about 13,100 feet. There exist bizarre creatures that seem like they belong only in the realm of imagination. But what's even more frightening is that this isn't the deepest part of the ocean. Farther below are layers that harbor even more terrifying organisms. Could there even be prehistoric monsters? When we think of the ocean, most of us immediately picture a vast, sunlit expanse of blue water. This is the surface layer, also known as the epipelagic zone, which stretches from the sea surface down to about 660 feet. It's the part of the ocean most familiar to humans and the one we often see in colorful underwater footage. Though it makes up only a thin slice of the ocean's massive volume, this sunlit layer is home to the majority of marine life on Earth. The reason lies in one crucial factor: sunlight. This is the only zone where sunlight can penetrate strongly enough to support the photosynthesis of algae and phytoplankton. These tiny organisms are the foundation of the entire marine food chain. They produce oxygen, absorb carbon dioxide, and serve as a primary food source for countless small fish. Whenever you see a school of fish darting through the water or a vibrant coral reef, remember that all that life begins with near-invisible specks of light. Within this sunlit zone, life bursts forth in a riot of shapes and colors. Dolphins glide gracefully in pods, bluefin tuna shoot through the water like rockets, and sea turtles slowly travel thousands of miles to reach their breeding grounds. Corals grow into enormous underwater cities, with hundreds of small fish hiding among their crevices. Seen from above, the entire ecosystem resembles a bustling neighborhood full of color and sound. Moreover, this water layer is directly connected to human activity. It's where most fishing operations take place, and where beaches and dive sites draw tourists from around the world. But behind that shimmering beauty lies a sobering truth. Humans have only truly explored a small portion of this ecosystem. Scientists estimate that tens of thousands of species in the sunlit zone have yet to be described or named. Every time an expedition dives down, new species are documented, ranging from tiny fish to creatures with astonishingly strange appearances. Another fascinating aspect is the diversity of survival behavior. In the sunlit zone, many fish have evolved remarkable group strategies to defend against predators. Imagine a school of anchovies, millions strong, moving in perfect sync to form massive underwater clouds. When tuna or dolphins charge in, the entire school shifts direction as one, throwing off the attackers. This is the living matrix that only the ocean can produce. However, this vibrancy also turns the epipelagic zone into a fierce battleground. Top predators like great white sharks and giant tuna constantly pursue prey, creating dramatic high-speed chases. Prey must rely on speed, on their schools, or on camouflage to survive. Meanwhile, predators have evolved with razor-sharp teeth, keen eyesight, and the ability to detect even the slightest movement. Notably, this layer is also directly connected to the rest of the planet. The oxygen produced by phytoplankton not only sustains marine life, but also contributes significantly to Earth's atmosphere, meaning we too benefit from this green engine beneath the waves. In other words, humanity's survival depends more than we realize on the epipelagic zone. However, the more we examine this familiar layer, the more we realize If even the brightest and most accessible part of the ocean remains largely unexplored, how many mysteries lie in the depths below? Beyond the 660-foot mark, sunlight gradually fades, leaving behind a dim and chilling world. It is here that ghostly creatures glowing in the dark begin to emerge. Leaving the bright, familiar waters behind, we now descend below 660 feet. This is where sunlight weakens, dimming like the twilight at the end of the day. Scientists call this region the mesopelagic zone, more poetically known as the ocean's twilight zone. It stretches from 660 to about 3,300 feet beneath the surface, a vast space yet little known to most people. Here, sunlight is no longer strong enough to support photosynthesis. This means algae and phytoplankton are nearly absent. In other words, the main energy source of life in the epipelagic zone cannot exist here. And yet, the mesopelagic zone is far from empty. On the contrary, it is home to a wide array of strange creatures that survive by a completely different mechanism, self-generated light. This phenomenon is known as bioluminescence. About 90% of the organisms in the mesopelagic zone possess this ability. Instead of relying on sunlight, they produce their own light through chemical reactions within their bodies. Each species uses this light for different purposes, some for camouflage, some to lure prey, others to attract mates. Imagine, in the cold darkness of these waters, countless blue and purple-red lights flicker, creating a reverse night sky deep beneath the ocean. One of the most notable inhabitants here is the lanternfish. Though only a few inches long, their population is so vast that they are considered among the most numerous fish species on the planet. Each individual has light-producing organs along its body. When swimming in schools, they resemble a flowing river of light. Lanternfish are not only beautiful but also play a vital ecological role. They frequently migrate vertically, hiding in the twilight zone during the day and swimming closer to the surface at night to feed. This behavior drives the largest daily vertical migration on Earth, involving billions of organisms moving at once. There are even stranger species like the black dragonfish with a long, slender body and the ability to emit red light, a rare color in the ocean that allows it to see prey without being seen. Or the hatchetfish, whose upward-facing eyes reflect the faint light from above, blending perfectly with its surroundings so that predators below cannot detect it. And of course, we can't forget the glowing squid species that can change the color and rhythm of their light like a lively piece of music. But life in the twilight zone is also full of danger. Due to limited energy sources, food here is much scarcer than in the layers above. Creatures must develop unique hunting and defense strategies. Some species have mouths disproportionately large compared to their bodies, allowing them to swallow anything they encounter. Others can release bursts of light like flares to startle predators. Some use the darkness to lie in ambush, waiting for unsuspecting prey to stray close. Notably, the mesopelagic zone has sparked many unsolved mysteries. Sailors and fishermen have reported strange flashing lights beneath the sea, sometimes stretching tens of yards in length. Scientists suggest these could be schools of glowing fish or squid, but they don't rule out the possibility of massive creatures still unknown to humankind. Some theories even link these phenomena to legendary sea monsters, such as the kraken or giant sea dragons. These stories reveal a strange contradiction in the Twilight Zone. It is both teeming with life, billions upon billions of tiny organisms, yet shrouded in a dimness that conceals mysteries still beyond our understanding. In reality, modern submersibles have only explored a small fraction of it. The rest remains veiled in secrecy. But remember, the Twilight Zone is only the beginning of the descent. As we move farther from the light and descend beyond 3,300 feet, the darkness becomes absolute. At that depth, no sunlight penetrates, and the creatures found there are even more alien in appearance. This is the bathypelagic zone, the realm of eternal darkness, where even science must sometimes admit we are like explorers feeling our way through an entirely different world. Below the depth of around 3,300 feet, humans officially enter a world devoid of any sunlight. This is the bathypelagic zone, also known as the ocean's eternal dark zone. It extends from 3,300 to 13,100 feet, a vast expanse where light is completely swallowed, temperatures hover near freezing, and the crushing pressure is almost unimaginable. While the mesopelagic still glowed faintly like twilight here, absolute darkness reigns. In fact, if you dove into this region and turned off all lights, your eyes would see nothing but endless blackness. It would feel like drifting through outer space. And just like the cosmos above, the bathypelagic zone is home to strange beings that seem to belong to another planet. The living conditions here are so extreme they border on the unbelievable. Average temperatures around 39 degrees Fahrenheit, with pressures hundreds of times greater than at the surface. Yet life still exists, and has even evolved in ways that defy human imagination. One of the most famous inhabitants of this zone is the anglerfish. With its ghostly appearance, it has a wide mouth filled with needle-sharp teeth. But its most distinctive feature is the glowing lure on its head. Drawn by the light, prey approach in the darkness, only to be swallowed whole in an instant. Even more fascinating is its bizarre reproductive behavior. The tiny male bites into the female's body, gradually fusing with her and becoming a parasite, completely dependent on her to survive. This is an extreme evolutionary strategy, yet it allows them to reproduce in such a resource-deprived environment. There's also the gulper eel, known for its massive mouth that can open up to nearly half the length of its body. Thanks to this unique feature, it can swallow prey almost as large as itself, a crucial advantage in a place where food is extremely scarce. Or the fang-toothed fish, with teeth so long it can't even close its mouth fully, resembling a monster straight out of a horror film. But what's most terrifying about the bathypelagic zone isn't just the creature's appearances, it's the chilling silence. Deep-sea recording devices occasionally pick up strange, powerful sounds that defy explanation. One of the most famous cases is a sound known as the bloop, recorded in 1997 in the South Pacific. It was so loud it could be detected by underwater microphones located thousands of miles apart. At first, many believed it came from an enormous sea creature unknown to science. Later, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration suggested it might have been the sound of ice cracking in Antarctica. But for those drawn to mystery, the question, could something massive be lurking in the deep, has never truly been silenced. The bathypelagic zone is also where human exploration reaches its limits. Even the most advanced submarines have only reached this depth briefly, as the crushing pressure can destroy nearly everything. This means that most of this eternal dark zone has never been captured on camera or seen by human eyes. And this lack of information only fuels our imagination further. Just think, within this impenetrable darkness, under unimaginable pressure, could there be life forms so massive that they surpass everything science currently understands? When sonar systems detect shadows stretching tens of yards, are they merely technical glitches? Or could they be clues pointing to an undiscovered species? Perhaps we'll never have a definite answer, at least not in the near future. And yet the journey doesn't end here. Because below the bathypelagic zone lies an even colder, more extreme world, the abyssopelagic zone, stretching from 13,100 to 19,700 feet. Here, the name abyss is not just metaphorical. It is a raw reality where life exists under the harshest conditions imaginable, and every creature seems to come from an entirely alien realm. Leaving behind the pitch-black depths of the bathypelagic, we now enter an even more unforgiving realm, the abyssopelagic zone. This zone extends from 13,100 to 19,700 feet below the ocean surface. That number alone is enough to send chills down your spine. It's the depth equivalent to the height of the Himalayas, submerged in freezing water. At this depth, every trace of light has completely disappeared. The dense darkness doesn't just surround everything, it almost consumes the senses. Temperatures here stay around 36–37 degrees Fahrenheit, close to the freezing point, while the pressure can be thousands of times greater than on land. To put it into perspective, imagine a giant elephant standing on your fingernail. That's only a fraction of the pressure that creatures in the abyssopelagic zone endure every day. And yet, incredibly, life still exists. And not only does life exist, it has evolved in ways that astonish us. The basket star has developed long, maze-like branching arms that increase its surface area to catch the rare, drifting plankton in the darkness. Rather than waste energy moving around, it remains anchored in place and casts its own body as a net, a perfect strategy in a world where food is scarce. Its flexible structure and slow metabolism allow it to withstand immense pressure and survive for extended periods in the abyss. Then there's the sea cucumber. Harmless as its name may sound, it is a true master of survival. Scattered across the ocean floor, they feed on organic debris that falls from upper layers, acting like the ocean's cleanup crew. Through patience and adaptation, they endure in an environment that seems otherwise lifeless. But the abyssopelagic zone is not only home to small creatures. Giant crustaceans also inhabit these depths, such as spider crabs with long spindly legs, or massive jellyfish with yard-long tentacles, drifting like ghosts through the darkness. Many animals here are almost completely blind, their eyes having degenerated from disuse. Instead, they rely on other heightened senses to detect vibrations in the water. What's more chilling than anything is the eerie silence of the abyss. There are no waves, no light, and no familiar signs from the surface world. If you were to stand on the ocean floor here, it would feel like being surrounded by a mass of endless black, where anything could emerge from the void. That's why the abyssopelagic zone has long inspired theories and mysterious legends. Some sonar reports from submarines have recorded massive moving objects at these depths. On one occasion, engineers described seeing a shadow hundreds of yards long drifting beneath their equipment, only for it to vanish without a trace upon review. Mystery enthusiasts quickly linked such sightings to the megalodon, the prehistoric giant shark thought by some to still exist. Others believe these are clues pointing to the existence of legendary sea monsters from folklore. Meanwhile, some scientists suggest the abyssopelagic could be the key to understanding extraterrestrial life. But even this abyss is not the final stop. Below 19,700 feet lies another world entirely, the hadalpelagic zone, the deepest realm of the ocean, hidden within massive oceanic trenches. And down there, even more terrifying mysteries await. If the abyssopelagic is called the abyss, then what lies below is deeper, darker, and far more mysterious. This is the hadalpelagic zone, the deepest part of the ocean, stretching from 19,700 to 36,100 feet. The name Hadal comes from Hades in Greek mythology, the underworld the realm of the dead. And indeed, nowhere on Earth feels more like standing before the gates of the underworld than here. Unlike the layers above, the Hadal zone is not spread throughout the ocean. It appears mainly within deep-sea trenches, gaping fractures formed by tectonic plate movement. The Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean is the most famous example, plunging to a record depth of over 35,760 feet. To put that in perspective, if Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, were placed into the Mariana Trench, its peak would still be nearly 1.2 miles below the surface. The conditions in the Hadal zone are so extreme, it seems impossible for anything to survive. The pressure here is more than 1,000 times that at sea level. Temperatures hover just above 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and there is absolutely no light. Yet life is still present, and it exists in truly extraordinary forms. Scientists have discovered the snailfish, a strange, translucent, soft-bodied creature capable of surviving at depths beyond 26,200 feet. Amazingly, instead of being crushed, its soft body helps distribute the pressure, allowing it to survive where most other species cannot. There are also countless tiny crustaceans resembling shrimp, known as amphipods. Despite their size, they can withstand the crushing pressure and play a vital role in the deep-sea ecosystem. Even more fascinating is the discovery of extremophiles, single-celled organisms that survive by drawing energy from chemicals released from the Earth's crust rather than relying on sunlight. This is an extremely significant finding, as it proves that life can exist even in conditions once thought to be impossible by humans. From this, many scientists have proposed a compelling hypothesis. If life can evolve in the Hadal trenches, why couldn't it also exist in the hidden oceans beneath the icy surfaces of other planets? However, the hadalpelagic zone is more than just a scientific subject. It has also inspired chilling theories. Many deep-sea expeditions have reported a sensation of being watched in the oppressive darkness. Some submersible-mounted cameras have captured massive shadowy figures drifting by, but the footage has never been clear enough to identify them. Some believe these are simply optical effects or technical errors. Others insist that enormous, possibly prehistoric creatures still lurk in the deepest parts of the ocean, beasts that have never gone extinct. One frequently mentioned theory is the existence of the megalodon, a giant shark over 50 feet long that once dominated the oceans millions of years ago. Though science maintains that the megalodon went extinct around 2.6 million years ago, many believe it may have found refuge in the uncharted trenches far beyond human reach. To us, the hadalpelagic zone is almost a forbidden realm. The number of successful manned expeditions to the bottom of the Mariana Trench can be counted on one hand. Most of the time, we can only send automated equipment down there, and even then, mechanical failure is always a looming risk due to the extreme pressure. In other words, most of the Hadal world remains entirely unexplored. And that mystery continues to raise the question: how many massive, bizarre, or even unimaginable creatures are hiding down there? And if they do exist, how prepared are we for the moment we finally encounter them? From the sunlit surface to the darkest depths, the ocean reveals a world of stark contrasts, familiar yet alien, beautiful yet terrifying. But remember, humans have only explored a tiny fraction of this vast body of water. Who knows? Beneath the unexplored layers may lie secrets capable of reshaping our understanding of life itself. And the journey of discovery is only just beginning.